This is going to be a shorter Morning Crowd episode because we're not like breaking down matches or anything of the sort. We're just going to be kind of going through some of the stuff since there was obviously a roster change or a potential roster change that's happening and some other stuff going on in the community. I figured we can upload this as that too. So it's going to be a shorter episode. We're going to go through some of the Reddit. We're also going to talk about the Paris roster change thing going on and then some other things as well. So you guys let me know what you think when we get there. You know, I hope you guys are having a good morning. Grab your coffee. I actually need my coffee because I am dying right now, and let's get after it. Before we do anything, let's start with the fun stuff. Let's do the Reddit, and then we're gonna get into the Paris roster change and stuff. We're just gonna read through the Reddit, see what we can figure out, or see what's going on. Anything it's important, yada yada yada. You guys kind of lead me through this anyway. Scump on Dashy's maturity. Do we want to watch this? Do it. This is Scump on Dashy's maturity.
Going back to Brandon, I did want to say that guy has matured a lot.
Really?
Last year, oh my God, I couldn't pay him to be on time.
Yeah.
I couldn't give him an extra 20 grand a month to be on time.
I
No
feel
shot.
like we've set the tone that like as soon as the team was formed though, from the very start we had that call and I told everyone, bro, I wasn't doing crap after what me and Ant deal with last year with situations within our team and the fact that I heard your situations were somewhat similar. Like that was I would not want to work with a player having that kind of effect on the team and just.
Well, I had faith in him. Obviously, I mean, we wouldn't have brought him back to the team if we didn't have complete faith in him
100%.
to be focused. And I had complete faith in him. And he's honestly surprised me because I thought it was going to be more of a process, like a longer, just like a longer period. But he like instantly matured.
Yeah,
Instantly.
I'm not giving him a chance to be honest.
No,
I'm not giving him a chance
he's
to
actually
be off the ball.
he's been on top of his shit. I mean, he was the MVP for our team, undoubtedly.
For sure.
And not even just like his raw gun skill. He's just playing disciplined COD, and he's actually been listening. And like in scrims, if we're doing something wrong, like
He's speaking his mind.
yeah, he speaks his mind, and he like gets mad. He's like,
What they just said right there is like the most important thing about like most players, in my opinion. I'll let this play out and then I'll explain what I mean.
No,
why the fuck are we doing this?
No, 100%. No, I feel like he's out of like all the time someone's been like pissed about something going on. I feel like he's been the one the most, and that shows passion and power. And,
Oh no, for sure.
And he has that effect on to get things done on the team. Like I can't be more excited about the potential this team has going for the future forward. Not even just this season, but just in the future,
Dude.
because of the sheer aspect of how we're taking things in the process, like just the process in general.
Same.
So like that entire clip is like what I'm super happy for them. Obviously that they have that feeling about like obviously their team and stuff. Cause like, that's like, I've talked about this plenty of times on different podcasts throughout the year. Obviously I haven't had my own podcast, but like watching a player, come a long way. Like again, they were saying he wasn't really on time too much. Like obviously they're implying that he wasn't on time very much last year. And this year, obviously, he's matured a lot. Watching that happen through any player is really dope, especially when you're like a coach and you're not a player anymore. Like Scump's obviously, the captain of the team and all that stuff. But like as a coach and all that, watching like, someone come a long way from where they were to like where they are now is always like a really cool feeling. But I think the biggest thing to them, on top of Rambo just being obviously a good coach and stuff, but is they like Dashy speaking his mind or anyone speaking their mind during practice. Of course, there's a line to this, and some people are actually very bad at this, and it does ruin the team sometimes, depending on how they get through the things. But a lot of the times when you have like really, really good players, that are either more quiet, they keep to themselves and they kind of just do their thing. Usually within the mind of a player that's very good, think about other than their raw talent and their gun skill, like Scump was saying, they usually understand how to get a lot of kills too. Like this, to give you a pretty good example of when I was a player, like with Zuma. Like Zuma was really, really good at Call of Duty when he was playing, obviously, before he got hurt, especially and all that. Like, when Zuma was in his prime, he was the best, the fucking best. He was fucking incredible. He still is now. And like back then, like the stigma, or it still is like a thing nowadays. Like, the good players are like the dumb players, and the smart players are like the veterans that aren't that good. Like that's like, that aren't like, dropping 1.4s. And the thing with him is like, watching Zuma, the same thing is like when you let someone that has like, or that knows how to slay like that, like communicate and like get them to speak their mind and like get them to tell you like how they feel about the game or what they think is right. A lot of the times they're correct. not always, and not always are they going to be 100% correct, but not always am I going to be 100% correct. Like, you know, like as the head coach or as like the captain of the team, like no one's ever like always 100% right. But a lot of the times there's a lot of good value in those players' minds of like how to play, and like usually they keep it to themselves. And then, like, you know, when that threshold gets broken and they start speaking their mind more, as long as it's in a healthy way and it's like, you know, in a good way, which usually it is, it's really important. So like, you know, Zuma used to help me a lot when we were teaming, even though like I was the smarter one on the team and I was considered the one that would, like, you know, came up with like the philosophy of how to play the game. Like, when Zuma starts speaking his mind, it's like, oh shit, you know, that actually could work. Let's try that. You know what I mean? And like things like that goes a long way. That's happened with multiple teams that I've been a part of, that I've coached, that I haven't coached, like that I was playing with. But it's pretty cool to see that. So that's pretty dope. All aim, no brain. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of the times, like you undervalue how smart some of the like the really, really talented players can be. And obviously, I'm not saying that's what they thought about the Ashy. I'm sure like he spoke his mind. I don't really know too much about their camp, obviously, but I've seen like similar kind of things play out like throughout my career. So it's pretty cool that to see that. I don't know. It's pretty dope. I can't believe these two people are real. My mom. Oh, wait. Wait, what the hell, bro? Bro, this Reddit is something else. Yo, SVG, thank you very much for the 6 months. And also God Ty, thank you very much. I appreciate the 19 months. Love the DNOC necklace at the event. Much love and respect. Yo, I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Is MC kind of like that? So MC has always been like super good with being on time and all that other stuff. But like last year, MC started speaking his mind a lot more. I'm pretty sure that's actually a part of my vlog. It might be. And when he started speaking his mind a lot more, like there was a lot of ideas that MC brought to the table, and you know, and we were like, holy shit, like MC, why don't you fucking talk more? And he's like, I will. And then he started, you know what I'm saying? Like he helped us out a lot. Like, you know, that's a really, really important thing. So yeah, MC, Celium's definitely similar in that sense. Like when he started speaking his mind more, he's helped our team out a lot, man. Like a lot of players have a lot of value to bring to the table if you let them. So that's pretty dope. Krim says after their loss in the major, NYSL was kicked out of the pro player arena. The surgery is done. Luckily, didn't have to go under, but let me tell you something. The sound of the sky saw in the back and forth of your eardrum sent shivers down my spine. About to smoke Jordan General's attack dogs and lay down the beatdown. Wait, so I don't know. I haven't talked to Krim or anything. What surgery did he need? Does anyone know in the chat? Like what was wrong with his ear? Does any was it like super serious? Like he didn't have to go under, which is awesome. And I'm glad everything's obviously, you know, okay. And he's in the clear, which is dope. Like good for him, which is awesome. But what happened? I don't even know what happened. I saw him tweet at the very end of at the end of like his major run that like he had a bunch of stuff he couldn't hear properly out of one ear. Interesting. That's fucking scary. He didn't have directional hearing in his left ear, I believe. Well, that's terrifying. So, well, I'm glad he's all good. That's good. And then let's see what he says. He says, sorry about not meeting up at the event, my brother. We got massacred in record time. And then shortly after getting knocked out, they kicked us out of the pro player arena. Didn't feel like chilling in the same area as people booing me. Apologies, homie. Yeah, if you guys don't know like how it works, I mean, when you lose, you get kicked out of the pro player arena. Like you get your badges and stuff taken away. I'm assuming that's a protocol for COVID, especially because like I'm pretty sure. Well, Clay was the one obviously on NYSL that was super unhappy with some of the COVID stuff like last event. So I'm assuming like they've been kicking they take your badges away right away. But yeah, it's just there's people there, you know, they're just following protocol. They don't want like everyone like just gathered up in one room. I'm assuming. So I think they were also more strict this time around than last time, in my opinion. So. That's just, it is what it is. After we lost to Optic, they came up to me and they're like, all right, we need your badge. And I was like, wait, what? Like, we're still in the fucking tournament. And they were like, wait, you are? And I was like, yeah, I'm keeping my fucking badge. They tried taking my stuff away too. But, yeah, no, I'm assuming that like Clay wasn't happy. Obviously the event before, and he threw like the whole rampage on Twitter about the COVID stuff and everything, and then I'm assuming they were just being even more strict about it this time, but they usually take our badges anyway. So that's just like the insight for you guys behind it, is usually when you get kicked out, they take your badge, so there's not a bunch of people gathered in a room. I'm assuming they're just being safe. I don't know. I'm not watching that. CDL. Wait, actually, yeah, I've seen that already. I actually have watched that. CDL 22 wallpapers requested. Atlanta FaZe. Atlanta FaZe mobile wallpapers as request. Breach. Mutineers. Right. Oh, so they're all the same. These are pretty dope. What do you guys think of this, chat? It's good to take them serious, though. Oh no, I'm not saying they shouldn't take them serious or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you the insight of why they like take your badge away. These are pretty dope. Did I miss? Did I not go all the way? Oh, there we go. Ooh, missed opportunity. I think I like the optic green or whatever, but I think the black and green would look cooler with the optic green. Does that make sense? I think like black and then green would look cooler for optic. Did they do that with the breach? Yeah, they did. Yeah, see, they should switch breach and optic. Or they should keep them the same. But the problem is if you keep them the same, then they're the exact same thing. Or wouldn't... Yeah, like, or wouldn't... Like, isn't optics thing... I think, I don't know. Isn't optics thing like championships whites? They should do white. They should do white, green, and black. They should do the white, green, and black, personally. I think that'd be dope. Instead of black, they should do the white, green, and black. It's like with the championship whites. Almost like kind of like what Ultra did. That's what they should do for optics. Everyone else's, though, I like. Paris one's actually pretty dope, not gonna lie. NYSL has underratedly cool colors. I like ours, too. But ours, dude, so hear me out. What do you guys think about this? Ultra do have really cool colors. I actually think Surge has dope colors, too. Hear me out, though, here. Do you think, like, the Atlanta FaZe red... I would think if that was our main jersey color, like the main part of our like color, and then it was white and black accents, I think it'd be sick.
Experiments finally paid off. I'm so excited, I'm beside myself.
What up, Fries? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Neptune returning to NYSL. What is this? Crimson surgery went well. It looks like he'll be able to play. Something else to note: that Desi has replaced Neptune on his challenger team. There could be a chance Neptune returns to the starting lineup for the Subliners, but nothing is confirmed. I know I'm not really doing the intel stuff anymore, but I'm being told that Neptune is 100% coming back onto the NYSL starting roster. So, with all this, we kind of went through most of the Reddit, like most of the stuff at the top of the Reddit right now. What, before we get into the Paris change, what do we think? What do we think of like the NYSL rumors? So these are all rumors, and you know we'll talk about it more in depth here soon if NYSL actually makes like legit changes. But the rumors right now are going on is that NYSL is like Clayster unfollowed NYSL or something, and now Crim6 is back, and now apparently Neptune, I didn't even see that, is like coming back too. Like, what do we think about all of that? Is like, do you think Neptune's taking Clay's spot because Clay unfollowed him or whatever, or what do you think? I don't even know, dude. I don't even follow it too much. I have to start looking at my timeline more low key, but I don't really. They can only go up. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, do we think it's like, a good thing? Because it's like confusing, dude. They should have picked up PaulExh, in my opinion. Didn't Clay unfile NYSL players as well? Wait, did he? I don't know. Nep as flex? Nah, Neptune's got to be a sub, right? Neptune's got to be a sub. If you're running Neptune as anything else other than an aggressive sub, I think that's a mistake. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But the problem with flip-flopping rosters and stuff is like, people, I'm not saying you don't, but a lot of people like underrate or like don't realize how important like chemistry is while scrimming and everything, and like how important it is to like really have a productive work environment when you're scrimming. And like, for example, that NYSL team, I could be wrong about this, but there's no way they were getting productive practice with how bad they were doing. Like, someone was either raging, someone, like they lost faith. Like there had to be more to that than just like playing bad. And my biggest thing as like a coach, or as like even when I was a player, and I like, this is like also a mistake of mine, but if you ever lose faith in your team and you just think you like believe in fucking in your heart that you have no chance of winning, like the team is fucking chalked. Like, and if you think anything like right then and there, like subconsciously it's chalked, bro. It doesn't even matter if you're like trying to show up to practice and like be a professional and practice every day. Like, if you truly believe that your team is not good enough, like it's just so hard to like actually get the best practice that you can and hit your actual ceiling. Like, you might get close to the ceiling by luck and, you know, some timings here and there, but you will never hit your ceiling like officially if that's actually what you believe. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's underrated. So I think that New York team right now, as much as they're flip-flopping, I think there has to be more to it. Like, there has to be, like, they're not getting productive practice. Obviously, people think that this has to happen or this has to happen. Like, changes need to be done or we're not going to win. And there's got to be more to it. So they're flip-flopping right now just to try and figure out what roster they want. And so it's hard to kind of just settle down on one yet. I just think it's crazy because New York's roster last year just wasn't that bad at all. Like, they were pretty fucking good. And now, like, they're going through all these changes and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think Mac and Asim were I don't know. I just don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they should have, like, let those two go as well. I think those guys were good. But again, that could be behind the scenes stuff that I don't know about either. So, all right. So with this all being said, I have the CDL Intel tweet up right here. And here we go. The first change that we are going to talk about for now is this right here on your screen. Official Paris Legion has said goodbye to FeLo. So Paris Legion tweeted it. CDL Intel has tweeted it. And they are getting rid of Felony or FeLo. And he is gone. Stage 2 starts tomorrow. So I'm assuming they have someone signed. And they're going to figure it out. What do you guys think of this change, dude? So we talked about the Decimate one last time, and they picked up Tom Gravity, which in my opinion, I felt that was a good thing in the sense of getting Tom. Maybe it will, maybe for Decimate or not. But Tom Gravity is obviously very good. He played well at the event, and I think he's AR that will get his, you know, that'll get his kills when he needs to. He actually knows how to play Call of Duty really well. I can say that 100% like with confidence because I talk to him a lot. And now the rumor is that they're dropping FeLo and they're picking up Jimbo, right? Like, so they're picking up Jimbo, and if that's the case, like, Jimbo is like, what? He's more of an aggressive sub if I remember correctly, right? Like Jimbo's pretty fucking good if I remember. Hasn't FeLo been good for them? I don't think anyone's really been that good for Paris other than Temp. I can literally I'll bring up their stats for you right now here. Let's go look at the Paris stats. Paris stats. Here we go. All right, so here's the Paris stats right here. So out of all of their matches, FeLo had a 0.84. Desi had a 0.9. He's gone, though. 1.05 for Tom Gravity, 1.02 for Temp, and then John had a 0.84. So John and FeLo were the two that were obviously struggling as, like, you know, FeLo was the main AR for a little bit, too, if I recall correctly. And John was, like, their main aggressor sub. So, like, these two were struggling on, like, the opposite ends of the roles here. So I personally think, like, right now, like, you know, they had to try and get rid of one of them. They're both struggling. I'm assuming they're putting a little bit more faith in John as a sub, and they obviously want to try and get another sub. I think I talked about this already. I think Donnie's incredible at a flex role because I think Donnie's really, really, really good with an AR, and he's good with a sub too. He's very good with a sub. So Donnie should be your flex, do it all. Like, I'm going to slay and get a bunch of kills. Gravity now is your main AR, so they're putting the pieces together. I think they wanted one more really aggressive sub that's going to fry, and FeLo didn't seem to really do that, and neither was John. Wasn't really frying himself either. So they probably invested into John over FeLo. I'm not too sure. I'm assuming that how that goes, and we'll kind of see from there. Like, I don't know. You can look at their KDs though as well. Like 0.71 in search. For search, John has a 1. And then their KD here is about even. Like, FeLo has a 0.94 in control. We'll kind of see. I don't know. So Don's different. Yeah, Don's good. Don's always been good. Like, don't ever get it twisted. Donnie is very good. Temp is a good player. Like, he's gonna get his kills. He knows what he's doing. Like, it's like he's gonna get his kills as a flex. And I think that's exactly where you want him. You don't want Donnie as a main sub, in my opinion. And you could use him as a main AR, but I think he's almost still too valuable, like, with this team to not be doing both. Gravity is a really good AR, so I think they have these two pieces really well. Now they're just trying to fix, like, they're kind of missing that one sub that is going to go absolutely fucking crazy every once in a while. And I think if they're picking up Jimbo and that's actually 100%, I don't know if like that's like 100% lock and key or announced yet, that would be pretty good. So I think this Paris team's making the right changes to start being like obviously better than they are. And they won a match with Tom. So, you know, and they beat Seattle. So they're making good strides in my opinion right now. And they're doing it in the sense of like, you know, not spending $1 billion and trying to just pick up like players like out of the woodwork. Like they're, you know, they're making good choices with the amateur players that they're picking up or challengers players that they're picking up. And I personally like what they're doing. Obviously I feel bad for FeLo because I think FeLo's like, you know, still good, but I think they just invested into John over FeLo, and they're, you know, I think just the roles and stuff. And I'm sure also behind the scenes, I'm sure they probably, I know, I want to say last year I talked to Cap a little bit. But just in general, like I talked to a bunch of people that have like, you know, teamed with John, and John's a really good teammate too. So I'm assuming John's bringing a lot to the table in practice, if I can take a guess. And if that's the case too, and he's being a really good teammate, it's gonna be good. All right. What would be the next thing? What am I missing? Oh yeah. So really quick, did London announce that they're like, so Gismo's like not occur? Am I correct about this? Gismo is not currently in the United States anymore, right? He had to go back. I haven't seen Gizmo's tweets or anything. I haven't looked back, but if I'm correct, hold up. 1 second. Where's Gizmo's Twitter? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to bring this up on your screen right now. 1 second. So here we go right here. This is obviously the next thing. Is right here on your screen. We have PaulExh. So we just talked about the Paris changes and the rumor changes, and if that's 100%, which I'm assuming we're going to find out today, just because, you know, it makes sense. This PaulExh thing is now the next thing. This is not crazy news to me. I know Jay Gismo is dealing with some family stuff, and I haven't, what's it called? If he flew home, personal matter. One post, maybe family health issues, maybe homesickness, regarding family first. Always family first. So, like, yeah, if Gismo is going through some family stuff or his family's having health issues or whatever it is, I'm actually going to probably look into that after my stream and stuff, and probably shoot him a tweet too. Because I haven't been on, like I said, I don't really go on my timeline too much, so I miss some stuff every once in a while. If he's going home and it's family stuff, yeah, like family first, 1,000 billion%. That is complete. Like, that's completely understandable. And they're replacing London. London's replacing him right now just for the short term of PaulExh. I mean, this isn't anything crazy. I think, you know, PaulExh is familiar with the organization. They know him. They need a sub spot for now, and PaulExh is going to try and take that opportunity. If he can show out and do well, he can, you know, put himself like on people's radar to pick up that are struggling. I think, you know, I think that's fine. He tweeted the issue. Okay, yeah. So I'll look at it like after then saying I appreciate it. So after my stream, I'll look at it and then see and everything. I'll update myself. But yeah, Gizmo's a really good dude. He's actually fucking hilarious. That guy is awesome. So yeah, I hope everything's well with him and his family. And yeah, here, this is, you know, nothing too crazy. PaulExh is familiar with them. He's going to try and show out and do his thing and hopefully put himself on some people's radars for whatever it is, you know? So this is pretty cool. You know, I'm happy, you know, it's pretty cool kind of to see what goes on from there. I don't think this is anything too crazy, right? London genuinely can't catch a break. Like, I know it's short term. However, London looked incredible for stage 1. I don't think this will impact them long term. I think this is a change that they're going to make for now, and then when Gizmo's back, they're right back to it. I don't think there's any chance that Paul takes Gizmo's spot, to be very honest with you. I think this London team is incredible, and I think right now it's just going to be like a 2-week, like, we're going to get practice and do our best, and then when Gizmo's back, I think it'll be like, all right, we got our fucking boy back, let's do this. So I don't think this is going to affect them at all, in my opinion. I think right now they'll just kind of chill. I think Paul will do his thing, and that's about it. So yeah, those are the changes that we were talking about. I'm not missing any changes, right? Everything else is pretty good. Then the only other thing we want to talk about for this episode before we keep it moving and this is obviously a really short episode. It's kind of nice. Will be the Minnesota Rokkr stuff, right? Paul will be a solid performer. Absolutely, yeah. Paul's a solid person to pick up for now. That's like he's familiar with the org, made it easy. Signs probably like a 2-week contract or whatever it is, and there you go. And for the person that said London has a sub, why not just use a sub and use PaulExh? In my opinion, this is how I view this. This might have nothing to do with it. Either A, their sub might not be ready. He might not be in the States. I don't know. I don't even know who their sub is, to be honest, right now. Maybe he's not in the States. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe he's got something else going on where like he can't fill in, and that's the case. Or this could be 100% not true. I don't know if this is how they feel, but this is my guess. If you're picking up PaulExh instead of using your sub, if it's not because he's not in the States already or something of the sort, then like they don't have faith in their sub. And we have seen that happen in the league where like they pick up, like, you know, you have someone on your roster as a sub that like you don't end up using when you could use the sub. You end up picking up someone new. But I don't know. Their sub is playing in the EU Challengers Elite. So yeah, there you go. So I'm sure their sub right now has got his own thing going on. And there it is. Like, Harry is actually nasty. So their sub is, yeah, I don't know anything about their sub. So if that's the case, that makes more sense. So it's either you don't have faith in your sub, which is a possibility. Like, I'm pretty sure Seattle Surge's sub last year was like Joey Nubsy. And obviously, you know, they're not going to use Joey Nubsy in a league match just because like he was their coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be the same thing if I was our team sub and then all of a sudden something happened with our team. Like, I'm not going to be the person to replace the guy on the roster. And that's just kind of how it goes. But if, so if Harry or their sub is in the EU, then there you go. Nubsy would have fried. Yeah, no, there's no coach. I don't think there's a single coach right now in this league that's frying in this league. I think we'd all get smoked together. London coach said he would arrive in US today, but they wouldn't get they get no practice. Yeah, exactly. So that makes sense. And it's not like, it's kind of tough because if you pull up your sub right now and you take him out of challengers, it kind of fucks with his challengers run, and you kind of know that you're not going to be playing full time. So it kind of hurts him more than it helps. Troy Sender. What? I don't think there's a single coach in this league that spawns in and starts frying. And that's including myself. I think we all get smoked together as a fucking group of coaches. That's that. Listen, if you don't agree with that, I guess, but I think the competition in this league is fucking incredible. So yeah, I think if they honestly made their sub play, it might just get fucking chalked. So all right. The last thing you guys said was the role switch. Looney would fry. Looney would probably have the best chance of frying. Wait, am I right about that? Who would you say? I'm trying to think of like all the coaches right now off the top of my head. Zed, Dens. So Zed and Looney. Zed and Looney have the best chance, right? Dens isn't a coach. Isn't Dens the manager? Other than Looney, Zed, Troy, and you. I'm not frying. Anyone that says that I'm frying in this league is fucking stupid. Sorry, but that's just what it is. That is you guys don't understand how hard this league really is. Looney or Zed are probably the best. Yeah, Cap's up there too, but yeah, probably Looney or Zed are the most recent, right? Looney and Zed are definitely the most recent. So yeah, Looney and Zed have the best chance, but I think we're all getting smoked together. But those two have the best chance. An all-coach team? Maybe we should form an all-coach team. All right. Last thing. Let's see what we can bring up. Hold up. You guys said something about a Minnesota role change or something. Did they do what I think they did? Yeah, this one right here. Hold up. 1 second. Okay. Here it is. Attach is switching to the flex role for Rokkr heading into this weekend matches, and Priest will be moved to SMG. I love this. This is what this team needed to do. I think this is absolutely what happened. Like what needed to do. Like listen, I've teamed with Attach. I've teamed with Priesta for a long time. I've coached Major Maniac. I have nothing to do with Standy at all. I don't know him at all. But when it comes to this team, I said this, I think, on my stream. I said this on my stream the other day, and I'll say it again. I don't know if I said it during one of the Morning Crowd episodes, but I'll say it again just for people that didn't hear it. So, this Minnesota Rokkr team, when first of all, before anything, Attach, when we were in World War II, which was like the last time I teamed with Attach, realistically, obviously like very briefly in Black Ops 4. But in World War II, at the very end of World War II, when my FaZe team was actually good, I ended up running like the main sub on the big maps and then the second AR on the small maps. It was really weird, but I was trying to transition Attach into a flex because I think Attach's gun skill is really good, and I think his playstyle fits really good with an AR. Personally, I've always thought this. So I think Attach switching to a flex and using more of an AR, I think if he gets it down, I actually think he'll be very, very good. So I like Attach doing what he's doing right now. And I personally think with this, the biggest thing for this change, though, I said this the other day, like I was saying, Priesta, if you look at Priesta's career, he went from that guy on 100 Thieves. Like, bro, Preston joined 100 Thieves as the main SOG, and he changed their team. Period. He was like the fucking guy that changed their team. Yes, Kenny was good. Yes, Octane was disgusting. Yes, fucking Slasher was really good. Yes, Enable was playing good. But before that, the SOG player that was needed was the grapple SOG, and it was Preston. And like, he changed the team. He brought the pace to the team. He was incredible. He was the superstar, whatever you want to say. Obviously, towards the end of the year, they all started playing amazing because they became a really good team. But Preston was like a superstar player. Then you have the next year, he teamed with Celium, Simp and Abizi, and Major Maniac on Atlanta FaZe. And he takes like more of a backseat role where he was like the fifth man in the sense of like, I'll use an SMG on this map, I'll use an AR on this map, whatever you guys don't want to use, I'll do. Like, he took a very, very much like, you know, much more of a backseat where he was like, I'm gonna let you guys like be your superstar shit, and I'm just gonna kind of do whatever like what you guys need me to do to help you guys be the best players you can be. Preston's like one of the best teammates you'll ever have, ever. So like he's the man for that, you know. So he tries taking that like approach with the Atlanta FaZe team. I mean, we got first place in the league and we got second at champs, so it worked. It was a good team. It was a decent season. And then you know, after that, we make the roster change. He goes to Rokkr. We get Arcides, and then he goes to Rokkr. And then ever since then, I feel like they tried him out as an SMG. And the weirdest thing for me, I'm pretty sure, I don't have their statistics and shit, but when we were scrimming them in Cold War last year with an SMG, he was using one. He was like really, really good in scrims, and I think he played pretty bad. I think this is why this guy said it. I think he played pretty bad with an SMG in Cold War. And it was like weird because he was playing good in scrims, but the matches wasn't going his way. I don't know what ended up happening there. But all I know is that ever since he joined this Rokkr team, I feel like he needs to be like that superstar on this roster. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Standy is good too, and I know they're playing around Standy, and Standy's like the crackhead sub that's like kind of going rogue and stuff. But I think with Standy being like the crackhead sub that's going nuts and doing all this stuff, I think Preston being really, really aggressive sub too, but being smarter than Standy in the sense of like how he's playing, like let Standy go a little bit more rogue, is good. Like, Preston is a superstar. And when he's annoying, I don't care if Preston's KD is a 0.9. I don't care if his KD is a 1.2. When Preston is in your face with a sub and being annoying, his gun skill is really good. He's talented. And on top of that, he makes really good plays. Like, his 0.9 is going to be so impactful, even if he, like, you know, if he's playing bad and like not dropping crazy KD. And if he's playing really good, he's going to obviously drop a bomb on you. I personally think that Preston is a really, really good complement to Standy in the submachine gun role. And I think Preston is a superstar, and I think he needs to start being, like, you know, not saying his team's not treating him like one, but saying, like, you know, start, like, being recognized as one again. And I think this is really good. I don't care about what his stats come with this, unless he's obviously dropping, like, a fucking 0.5. But I think the kid is nasty. I think he's really good. I think he brings a really good pace with the SMG, but I also think he's really smart. He's not stupid. He's not going to run and, like, and, you know, cost you spawns. He's not going to flip your spawns. He's going to make bad plays, like, but he's going to be aggressive and be in really good spots. So I personally like this change for them. And with the Rokkr team, if you're asking me now, like, if they get their respawns down just a little bit and they're winning their searches still, they're a threat. You know, like, they're a good team. So I personally love this change. I don't know. That's kind of just what I think. What do you guys think about this in general? Like, this is what I like this a lot. I actually like this a lot. I personally think this is how it should have been from the start. Preston has always had the most engagements using the AR this year, so the SMG role should fit him good. Yeah. And also, just to defend him one thing, running an SMG in Cold War, this is no excuse, but it's much different than running an SMG in this game, and also much different than running an SMG in Black Ops 4. Like, Cold War's SMG playstyle was very pre-aimy and, like, kind of weird at the same time, so it was just, like, definitely a little different. Not an excuse to do bad with it, but I really do think that Preston's impact with an SMG in this game will be incredible. You guys all think this is a good move? Yeah, I agree. I like this a lot. I think this will help their team, so this is dope. But other than that, I think we've covered everything that's going on. This was like kind of like not an emergency morning crowd. You know, we're not the flank, but this was just kind of talking about like some of the stuff that's going on. There's been like, you know, a decent amount of stuff going on in the community. I didn't want to wait until the matches and stuff, because usually when we break down matches, those episodes can go long. So we talked about like the Paris rumor changes. We talked about what's going on with London. We talked about what's going on with NYSL a little bit, like, you know, the rumors, obviously, and then some of the rule changes. I'm not missing anything else.